Rina and Samir had been married for 8 quiet years. Their home was small, calm, predictable, but one thing always bothered her: the locked storeroom at the end of the hallway. Samir always had a simple answer whenever she asked about it. "It's just junk, Rina. Nothing important." She believed him. She really didn't till the night she heard a cough from inside. Her heart kicked hard against her ribs. It was past midnight, and the house was supposed to be silent. She stood frozen in the hallway, straining her ears, telling herself she was imagining things. But then another sound followed. A faint scrape, like something heavy being dragged slowly across the floor. Chills ran down her spine. She rushed back to the bedroom and woke Samir, her voice a panicked whisper. "Samir, there's someone in the storeroom." He just grunted, rolling over. "It's just the old pipes making noise. Go back to sleep." He tried to sound dismissive, but for a split second she saw it. A flash of pure, undiluted fear in his eyes. And she knew he was lying. The next day, the house felt different. The silence was heavy, suffocating. While Samir was at work, a frantic energy took over her. She searched everywhere, driven by a need to know the truth. Finally, tucked away in his shoe rack, hidden inside an old boot, she found it. A small, cold metal key. Her hands shook so badly she could barely fit it into the lock. With a click, the storeroom door swung open. The air inside was stale and smelled of dust. It wasn't just junk. It was a secret life. Children's drawings were taped to the walls, colorful and innocent. A small, worn-out mattress lay in the corner. Toys, covered in a thick layer of dust, were scattered on the floor. And then she saw it. A framed photograph on a little makeshift table. It was Samir, younger and smiling, holding a little boy she had never seen before. Her mind raced, trying to make sense of it all. Who was this child? A voice suddenly whispered right behind her, making her jump. "Please, please don't tell him you found me." She spun around to find a teenage boy, impossibly thin and trembling from head to toe. He looked terrified. "My name is Arov," he said, his voice barely audible. I'm your husband's son." The truth spilled out of him in a torrent of hushed, desperate words. Samir had a child from a relationship before he met Rina. The boy's mother had passed away tragically. In his panic, Samir was terrified that Rina wouldn't accept him or his son. He was afraid of losing her. So he made a desperate choice. He hid Arav away. During the day, the boy lived in a nearby hostel, but sometimes when the loneliness became too much to bear, he would sneak into the storeroom, the only place that felt remotely like a home, just to be close to his father. Rina felt a storm of emotions swirling inside her: blinding anger at Samir's betrayal, shock at the depth of the secret, and an overwhelming wave of pity for this poor hidden boy. That evening, when Samir walked through the door, the silence in the house was a weapon. She didn't shout, she just looked at him, her eyes holding the weight of his secret. She gave him a choice. This house is not built on lies. Samir, either Arav stays with us openly as your son and a member of this family, or I leave, for the first time in their 8 years of marriage. She saw her husband completely break down. The walls he had built around himself crumbled, and he sobbed, the fear in his eyes finally replaced by raw, painful honesty. But their home was never the same again. It became louder, messier, and was often filled with the difficult sounds of healing. But for the very first time, it finally felt real. It finally felt like a true home. Thanks for watching. If this story touched you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more.